Located on a 5-acre piece of land in Chimiranko, one of Kigali's suburbs, Kigali Parent School was established 17 years ago by Charles Mutazahana, one of the senior entrepreneurs in education sector, to provide private quality primary education.
This school started way back in 1995, so it's been growing gradually since the last 17 years. And one of our mission is to have quality and affordable education.
Lung cancer is mainly caused by smoking, so I advise you to avoid smoking because it causes lung cancer. Food is anything you eat or drink in order to live. Reasons why we eat food. We eat food to grow, we eat food to be healthy, we eat food to be strong, we eat food to live. Here we have carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is the food which gives us energy. It has examples like rice, maize flour, which helps us to make posho and porridge, yams, maize corn, cassava, Irish potatoes, honey, sweet potatoes, green bananas, and so many others.
The spacious grounds, the beautiful environment that you see around is part of it, and of course the academic part. This school has been excelling in the whole country for the last 10 years, been leading, being number one in the whole country, and then on top of that having the best pupils in the whole country in national examinations.
The circulatory system is a set of organs responsible for blood transportation. They include the heart, blood, and blood vessels. The heart's description is like this. It's made up of 4 parts which are also known as chambers, with the upper ones as the auricles and the lower ones as the ventricles. The heart is also divided into 2 parts, which are the right and left side, with the right one handling deoxygenated blood and the left one handling oxygenated blood. The heart's way of working is like this. Blood from all over the body enters the heart through this blood vessel, which is known as the vena cava. It comes down here. These valves, which are known as the tricuspid valves, close to prevent the blood from flowing back to the body, and then it comes down here like this. This section squeezes to pump blood to the heart, to the lungs. In the lungs, blood picks oxygen and drops carbon dioxide by a process known as diffusion. After diffusion, the blood comes back through this. It's not working, it's dead. I've done this 1,000 times. Comes here, this section squeezes to pump blood to all over the body by the help of this blood vessel, which is known as the aorta. Blood vessels. Blood vessels are tubes responsible for remain and thick muscular walls to withstand the heart's pumping pressure. Veins having a wide lumen and valves to prevent the backflow of blood, and capillaries as the smallest blood vessels joining the arteries to the veins. Blood and its components. Blood is made up of 4 components, which are plasma, platelets, red blood cells, and white blood cells. Functions of blood include transporting food, nutrients, hormones and oxygen around the body, and fighting against disease, infections, and clotting bleeding wounds. Diseases of the circulatory system include leukemia, which is known as blood cancer, hemophilia, which is known as poor blood clotting, malaria, HIV or AIDS, diabetes, heart attack, and the rest. Ways of keeping the heart in proper working, the circulatory system in proper working conditions are drinking enough water, eating a balanced diet.
A human being develops 2 sets of teeth in his or her lifetime. These are milk teeth and permanent teeth. Milk teeth develop in infants and they are 20 in number. They start falling out at the age of 6 on average. They are replaced with permanent teeth, which are also 32 in number, 16 on the top jaw and 16 on the bottom jaw. A tooth has 3 main parts, which might also be called layers or regions, and this is the crown, the neck, and the root. The crown is the part that we see, the root is fit in the gum, and the neck is between the crown and the root. The outer part of a tooth is the enamel, which is also the hardest part of a tooth. We also have the pulp, which is also the pulp cavity, that is also the sensitive part of a tooth. Teeth are useful in 3 main ways. Teeth break down food, teeth help in speaking, and teeth are for protection. And there are 4 types of teeth. These include incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Different kinds of teeth have different functions in eating. Incisors are for cutting or biting food. Canines are for tearing food. Premolars are for grinding food. And molars are for chewing food. Different kinds of teeth have different numbers. Incisors are 8, 4 on the top jaw and 4 on the bottom jaw. Canines are 4, 2 on the top jaw and 2 on the bottom jaw. The premolars are 8, 4 on the top jaw and 4 on the bottom jaw. And the molars are 12, 6 on the top jaw and 6 on the bottom jaw. Much as you have known about teeth, I would like you to know how we can care for them. First of all, brush them in the morning, after every meal, and before going to bed. Brush teeth using Colgate or toothpaste to avoid a bad breath. It contains fluoride that hardens the teeth. 2. Do not open bottles with teeth. Avoid biting hard things. Avoid eating too much sweets because sweets attract bacteria that cause tooth decay. And lastly, visit a dentist for regular checkup.
A skeleton is a framework of bones. A human skeleton has 206 bones in average. We have different shapes of bones in the skeleton, like long bones, short bones, and flat bones. The long bones, we have the humerus, radius, and ulna. We have the femur, which is the longest, the fibula, and tibia. The short bones, we have the patella, carpus, and tarsals. The main function of the skeleton is to give the body its shape. Other than that, it helps in body movement, protects delicate body organs, and manufactures red blood cells and white blood cells. Organs protected by the skeleton, we have the skull protected by the brain protected by the skull, the eyes protected by the eye socket or orbit, the tongue inside the mouth protected by the jawbone, the spinal cord protected by the vertebral column, the heart and the lungs protected by the rib cage, the reproductive organs protected by the pelvis bone. Diseases of the skeleton, we have rickets, polio, tuberculosis, and bone cancer, which is not usually common. Polio can be prevented by immunization. Rickets can be prevented by eating food rich in vitamin D, like liver and milk. Tuberculosis can be prevented by immunization. Ways we can keep the skeleton in proper working condition, we have eating a balanced diet, practicing physical exercises regularly, avoid playing rough games, and expose the person to sunshine.
Management has progressively utilized the initial startup capital, leading to a steady, profitable growth.
With hard work, everything's possible. You can begin humbly and then grow as long as you have vision and resilience in what you're doing.
The school started with 4 teachers and 6 pupils. Soon, the enrollment population grew to 2,034 pupils and 71 teachers by November 2012. The institution, which started as an art school having a big number of boys than girls, today the pupil population has echoed, making education successful at Kigali Parent School.
We ensure that these children have equal treatment in day-to-day work here. And of course, through records, girls have been excelling, actually doing even better than boys.
Today, it boasts of an additional subject of science and its facilities that enable teachers to teach and allow pupils to exhibit what they have learned in class not only to the local pupils but to all foreign pupils.
We have different people with different backgrounds. We have non-Rwandese in this school, Kenyans, Ugandans, Ethiopians, Indians. So those who come to Rwanda, please, you are most welcome to join Kigali Parent School.
From a distance, the Maroon Empire and its proprietor accepted the capacity as a professional teacher and acquired a knowledgeable population of teachers with the best managing skills to enable him run the institution profitably.
Science, yes, we are going science just because the world is taking that trend now. Everything is based on science and technology. That's why we are putting a lot of emphasis in this field by ensuring that children carry out practicals right away from primary. So by the time they reach high school, they're already set.
No doubt, the skilled management has trained pupils in science and equipped them with exhibiting skills that has changed the fashion of science from primary 1 to primary 6, which has contributed to the positive transformation of Kigali Parent School.
We have a computer lab, and it ranges from primary 3, these are the children who pursue these computer studies, up to primary 6.
Examples of input devices include a keyboard, a mouse, system unit or CPU, and others.
Next year, to begin with primary 1, we shall extend it to even primary 1 children. And they are going to have all these basics of computer.